What was I looking at? Mike Preach, watched a lady, bicycle in France. Got a phone call today, got a message today. It's already tomorrow. Today's over. Thursday. No, it's Wednesday. I just ate a lot. Big meal. And now I'm gonna wash it down. I was getting a lesson on Turkish economics.
Now you might be wondering, this ball represents a tennis bank card that charges equal fees.
Kevin Hart commercial for Chase Freedom.
All this borrowed money on. Surely they were investing in things that would increase future revenues, right? Wrong. Much of the money went to military spending that accomplished nothing. The Ottoman military was hemorrhaging cash across multiple conflicts. An army of 60,000 soldiers and 40,000 horses required 500,000 kilograms of food per day. The expenses crippled the national treasury. In 1875, the Ottoman Navy had 21 battleships and 173 warships of other type. The third largest naval fleet in the world.
That's 200 warships in 1873.
After Britain and France. This massive military expenditure, combined with palace construction and lavish imperial court spending, drained resources that could never be recovered. Sound familiar? It should. But here's where it gets even worse. Some of the borrowed money wasn't even going to useful projects. The Ottoman government was literally borrowing new money to pay back old loans. They were using one credit card to pay off another credit card. The ultimate financial death spiral. And the corruption was staggering. Ottoman tax collection was characterized by corrupt officials and faulty record keeping. The government couldn't even collect the taxes they were owed, let alone generate enough revenue to service their debts. By 1874, even domestic Turkish bankers refused to lend to their own government, even at 25% interest rates. When your own citizens won't loan you money at any price, you know you're finished. The rumors of bankruptcy made Ottoman bonds nearly worthless on European markets. Nobody wanted to touch them. The empire that had once been seen as a first-class borrower was now viewed as a basket case. Then came the final blow. The Panic of 1873, a global financial crisis, depressed economies across Europe. Ottoman exports collapsed. Then, poor harvests in 1873, 1874, and 1875 caused food shortages that further reduced tax revenues. The Ottoman government was trapped. They couldn't borrow more money because nobody would lend to them. They couldn't pay their existing debts because they didn't have enough revenue. And they couldn't increase revenue because their economy was collapsing. On October 6th, 1875,
Prussia does not exist, and neither do the Ottomans.
they officially suspended interest payments on £214.5 billion worth of debt. The Ottoman Empire, one of the world's great powers, had defaulted.
But they want the Tartars to rule again.
European creditors were furious. They had loaned billions to the Ottomans, and now they weren't getting paid. So they did something that had never been done before on this scale. They demanded direct control of Ottoman finances. In 1881, the Ottoman Public Debt Administration was established. This organization had representatives from Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Austria, and the Netherlands. Its sole purpose was to collect Ottoman taxes and
Good purpose.
send the money to European bondholders. Think about how insane this is. A foreign organization, controlled by European powers, was given authority to collect taxes inside the Ottoman Empire and decide how that money was spent. The OPDA controlled many of the empire's important revenues. They had power over financial affairs. Their control extended to determining the tax on livestock in individual districts. And Ottoman policemen couldn't even enter the home of a foreign national without permission from that person's consul or embassy. The empire had lost sovereignty over its own territory. This wasn't a loan anymore. It was economic colonization. And it got worse. The Ottomans had something called capitulations, agreements that gave European traders special privileges. These traders were exempt from Ottoman taxation, Ottoman prosecution, Ottoman conscription, and even searches of their property. The 1838 Anglo-Turkish Commercial Convention took this to another level. It set tariff rates for European goods at just 3% and abolished all state monopolies within the Ottoman Empire. In forcing the Ottomans to accept free trade, the British delivered the death blow to Ottoman manufacturing. Economic historian Paul Weyrauch argues that this forced free trade contributed directly to Ottoman deindustrialization. While countries like Japan and China were protecting their industries, the Ottomans were forced to open their markets completely. European goods flooded in, destroying local industries. Ottoman craftsmen couldn't compete with British and French factories. The empire became dependent on European manufacturing, while their own industrial capacity withered away. Economic weakness translated directly into territorial collapse. The Treaty of San Stefano in 1878
San Stefano.
forced the Ottomans to recognize independence for Romania, Serbia, and Montenegro. They had to concede autonomy to Bulgaria, cede territory to Russia, and pay an indemnity. Each territorial loss meant less tax revenue to service the debt. The Khedive of Egypt was so desperate for money that he sold his shares in the Suez Canal to the British government in 1875. Then, in 1882, Britain simply occupied Egypt outright, using military assistance as a pretext. By the end of the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire was known as the sick man of Europe. The only reason
Can't say
European
that.
powers didn't carve up the entire empire immediately was that they were trying to maintain a balance of power among themselves. The Ottomans had become a political football for European great powers to manipulate. When World War I broke out in 1914, the Ottoman debt stood at 139.1 million Turkish pounds. France held 60% of the total debt. Germany had 20%, and Britain owned 15%. The empire was completely dependent on European financiers. They entered the war on the side of Germany partly because of German financial backing, and when the war ended, the Ottoman Empire collapsed entirely. But here's the kicker. Even after the empire ceased to exist, the debt didn't go away. The newly formed Republic of Turkey inherited the Ottoman debt and continued making payments.
Wouldn't it be nice if it was just smooth? It can be. Zorro, the smoothest, easiest, coolest CRM around.
The last payment on Ottoman debt wasn't made until May 25th, 1954, more than 3 decades after the empire's dissolution.
A long time.
The Ottomans' great-great-grandchildren were still paying for loans taken out in the 1850s. Now let's talk about why this matters to you. America's federal debt stands at $37 trillion as of August 2025. That's 119% of GDP, approaching Ottoman-era proportions relative to the economy. Like the Ottoman Empire's dependence on British and French banks, America relies heavily on foreign creditors. As of December 2024, foreign countries held $8.5 trillion in U.S. Treasury securities. Japan holds $1.06 trillion, the UK holds $809 billion, and China holds $759 billion. U.S. military spending mirrors Ottoman overextension. The Department of Defense 2026 budget request is $892.6 billion. From 2001 through 2022, America spent an estimated $8 trillion on post 9/11 wars, all financed through debt, just like the Ottomans financed their wars. And here's where the Ottoman parallel becomes most alarming: interest payments. In 2024, U.S. interest payments totaled $881 billion, nearly tripling from $223 billion in 2015. Interest is now the government's third biggest spending area, behind only Social Security and healthcare. It exceeds what we spend on national defense. Over the next decade, interest payments are projected to total $13.8 trillion. By 2027, if current policies continue, debt will reach 106%
All right.
of GDP.
Boom. Doomer Media. I was in a phone call today with somebody and I forgot to give them the. Because it's on my iPad, I have to lean to the left to try to. Like that. Let's get my sub counter up to cover the watermark. Come on, help me get the subs up. Tap it up. Come on, tap it up. Show the channel some love. I'm not chugging it. It's the wolf pit. What are we eating? Spicy ramen with lime. I know you're sitting around with your limes and nobody wants them. Austin went from working with Hogan to, working with Randy Savage to working with Savio Vega. Ghoul says, what's up? There are all these Savio Vega, D'Lo Brown. What's the difference? Really didn't do anything today. If I slept all day, that's all I remember. Because I was up all night. I ate my lunch for dinner and I slept all day. I did so. Today starts at midnight, 2 hours ago. When did I wake up though? I didn't even try to wake up. I was like happily in bed at The Matrix is real, but right now the Matrix sucks. Neo can bend backwards to dodge bullets, right? Yeah. What button does that in the game? Oh, you can't do the Matrix moves in the game. So everything plays like Quake 2. All Quake 2. I'm gonna now I will chug my beer. Should I take a hot bath? I don't know, should I take a hot bath? Drop a hot bath in chat. Oh boy. 20 killed in as Myanmar drops Myanmar junta bombs the festival protest. Oh, the festival protest bombing. Let's click on this and see what DW News Germany has to say. El Segundo gas explosion, October 2nd. They keep posting that shit like it just happened. Like, there's a raging inferno in LA. It was 8 days ago.
Say at least 40 people have been killed and dozens more injured after Myanmar's military bombed a candlelit vigil. Amnesty International has called the attack a gruesome reminder that civilians
War crimes! Drop war crimes in chat. POS. Myanmar. You Myanmar piece of shit.
Buddhist festival and to protest the ruling military.
They're killing Buddhists. We have a map. I have the map here. I see where the explosion. Near the geographical center of Myanmar. What is Myanmar shaped like? A star? Should I let you glance for Myanmar? It's shaped like right next to Bengal, next to Bengali. We have Myanmar, big explosions. Teddy McDonald, your Myanmar bombing station. Stay away from Changyu.
Junta's policies, as well as demand the release of political prisoners.
Yeah, I'll start running the water in about 20 minutes.
Bangkok. What more do we know
Bangkok.
about the attack?
She said Bangkok. You hear that?
On release of political prisoners. Journalist Tommy Walker is standing by with more now from Bangkok.
Bangkok. I'm dropping Bangkok in chat. I'm dropping a Bangkok in chat. POS is any excuse to say POS. Use it. Use it. Bart Simpson hasn't posted a video in a long time. Bangkok. Montenegro. I'd like to see West China. I'd like to go to West China. Everybody calls them the East, Eastern Asia, but no, go see the Western China. Western China is like California. Yeah. I'm used to this Diablo 2 weather. I want to go see that real life Diablo. Oh yeah, the sub's just better. It's just, it can't count, man. And the count should say 1624. But a little do-way bounce. That was so smooth trying to DJ in 15 with 15 frames per second. Dropping frames. Anytime the zoom has to adjust, anytime the filter comes on or off, I lose a frame for the filter. This era is just crap, bro. Sure, the next era will probably be a lot better, right? Okay, this is what happened. Everybody was pissed off. Why is the vertical video? Turn the phone sideways, bro. No, we've given up on the entire trying to compete with the already created vertical video, horizontal, ultra wide. TikTok itself has to be phased out before we can have a fishbowl lens or some shit. Everything's behind a paywall, and thus, and the store isn't open. You couldn't get the feature you want. Maybe NSA surveillance has locked down most of my phones. I'm really not impressed with any product anybody produces. Everything in production in 2024 and 2025 is will all have to be remastered. These are script readings, meetings. We're speculating what the content will be, what content will be created, because without conclusive world news, there's, everybody, do the Russians win? We don't know. You can't make your media until Ukraine has laid down their arms. Okay, who's gonna watch it? Okay, well, I tell you, we're gonna make movies for Russians, and they can watch it when it's over. When they're war, they're not allowed. See, right now they can watch my shit. This is just trash. I'm producing some trash. Everybody's spying on each other, looking. They're actually fighting. We'll figure out what the winning moves were in the film room. Russia is still very effective on the battlefield. Ukraine is every day Ukraine gets smaller. Every day. I saw 2 kilometers come off the map at lunch. I watched the map at lunch today. Did LeBron James make his announcement yet? What did LeBron say? If you can. Find out what we got. Joe Flacco coming back. He's been playing football longer than LeBron James has been playing basketball. Let's take. Am I right or wrong? Who's older? How old is Joe Flacco? The NFL loves to show, and is to take. For Joe Flacco to take Cincinnati to the Super Bowl is bigger than LeBron taking Cleveland. Joe Flacco is younger than LeBron James. Okay. I'd like to see Joe Flacco win his first game back. Exciting times. Will Flacco be at practice this week and ready next week, or first stop Bengals will probably tell me tomorrow. And we're 2 hours away from getting the East Coast NFL news. You have to wait until after lunch around here to figure out what the 49ers did at practice. But tomorrow morning, everybody's in the parking lot waiting for Joe Flacco to roll in. Where is Joe Flacco right now? His house is in Maryland. Is he renting an apartment in Cleveland? That's what Shaq did. When Shaquille went to Cleveland, everybody thought Shaquille's gonna move into the hood and be one of the. Nah. Shaq was like, "I'll come and play." That's it. Better leave it. Currently, I think Joe Flacco wasn't he on the team last year? He's already been on the Browns 2 years in a row, hasn't he? Were you playing for the Colts last year? He was on the Browns in 23. He went to Indianapolis. Then he went back to the Browns again right now. Now he's coming to Cincinnati. He went to the Jets twice in a row, which makes a lot of sense. 3 years at the Jets. 1 year at Denver. That was sad. How many years in Baltimore? "11 years at Baltimore." He's so slow. He might get injured. This Bengal offensive line is bad. One of the worst in years. The 2001 Bengals offensive line was outmatched by their opponents. If they got lucky, they could have played the 49ers in the playoffs in the Super Bowl. They probably would have beat the 49ers the Super Bowl 56, but the Rams stepped in. Tough shit. Now tomorrow, Eagles and Giants. Get to the point that they seem to have no personality. Jalen Hurts is a ho-hum. Should I go back and watch more France? I was watching. World of Warcraft Legion Remix started today. People are replaying the role-playing game that I played eight years ago, but they have different talent trees. It's not the authentic Legion experience. The WoW player base is a lot better than it was in 2018. It was pretty much a dead game. Dead game. Been dead for 8 years. Now they're putting out the same shit on an 8-year cycle. It took them 20 years to re-release the original. That's not true. It took them like 15 years. At this point, the War Within expansion, I can do that next year after it's over. You need to set up more 10 versus 10 PvP, and the franchise will be fine. Watching a lot of Overwatch videos. watching a Conan the Barbarian short and reading the subtitles. I like sitting in quiet, but let me make some noise for the autistic archive.
Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting,
It was
the
crippling.
LGBTQ community, Barbara Palma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse
Speak out.
victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of
Get
love.
brain damage from this commercial.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance.
I get a small buzz.
LoveHasNoLabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No
Small
Labels
buzz
and
of
the
brain
Ad Council.
damage.
That is, if things aren't going well for the Lakers, by the
Fake
deadline,
crowd noise.
it's going to be if we can send LeBron to Cleveland and Cleveland sends something to us, and this is what okay, we'll do it. If we can, if the Mavericks are really good and we can send LeBron to Dallas and he goes there for 2.5 months, whatever it is, we'll do it, right? If we have to send LeBron, we will do it. It's going to be a breaking point.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd
You got to be consistent.
with Colin Cowherd.
Philadelphia has been a leaky faucet for 5 weeks. We've been talking about this. Saquon Barkley, his production's been cut in half. They labor to get the ball to A.J. Brown, an elite wide receiver. The offensive line used to be the best in the sport, middle of the pack. So, and I've been preaching this for 3 years. Nick Sirianni is not a scheme guy. Okay, so he is very offensive coordinator dependent. All right? So, when he has a great coordinator, he gets the Super Bowls. He hired Brian Johnson, didn't work, circled the drain. He missed on a coordinator. Hired somebody in the building that had never called plays before. Could be a good coach, but right now at this moment in that coach's life, probably not the right fit with this veteran offense.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We're for you. We're here for you. I can't let this audience down. That's why we're getting back.
We speak Fox Sports Radio.
Really fun. Keep this in mind. We're giving you the best sports and entertainment on your platform.
Right, 'cause that's how we operate.
And you know what? It's about the consistency every day.
That's the truth.
Whether it's through your speakers, podcasts, or social, we're giving back on Fox Sports Radio. FS1.
Looking for the one, what you looking at the one?
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details.
You have to
FS1.
pull your hairs. Find. A horrible sound. What a horrible music. Please stop.
Miller and you. It is the Ben Maller Show. Football night, every single night. Don't forget about the YouTube page or pages. Be sure to check out the brand new YouTube channels for the show. Just search Ben Maller Show within YouTube. That's at Ben Maller Show, and you can find the Maller monologues, other radio show content just for this show. Again, that's at Ben Maller Show. YouTube.com/at Ben Maller Show. And if you want Benny versus Benny,
It's the Ben Maller Show. My shit's all zoomed in.
Well, you see, depending on where they live, they could have different ideas. You know, like a bison is a buffalo, and an aardvark is an anteater, and you know, I'm not going to say that last one, but a man could think he's a leprechaun too.
Okay.
You just gotta
This
deal with
must be it.
or kick him out.
Over 10 chugs, let's go.
Is it true that going to see a movie on a first date is a horrible idea?
Game face,
It's not bad if you
meth
go to
face,
dinner
Marge
first
Simpson
or
face.
to a park or something,
Okay,
but the part
homework.
of going on a date is to get to know
Chug
each other
face.
and if you're watching a movie, you don't really get that chance to
I don't know
divulge.
about that. You can
You can
find
do other
out.
things. You can fondle and kiss and, you know, get kicked out of a movie theater. But also, are you a teenager? Do you really want to be that person? Or do you have a house that you can
That's
take
in
them
the
to
back of the
instead?
movie, the upper back row.
Yeah, what are you, 13? Grow up.
J. Dot Utah, he's all grown up. I've met him multiple times. Good man, J. Dot Utah. He says,
You get a drink?
Nah, he's just something.
It's all
He
going
says,
on.
how do I break the ice with a girl that I work with that I have strong feelings for and tell her that I love her? Ooh, that's a big. Don't you have to like first date her before? I mean, it's kind of a dramatic.
Well, you know what they say, Ben, that love at first sight thing. But also, if you've been working with her for a while, you could know that you actually love her. When you work together, you have an even closer relationship, right?
Hey, look, if you've never dated her, that means she's a complete stranger. If you're having sex with a worker that you've obviously worked with, then it's not the first time. It's not the same. Yeah. It's the same as waiting. Everybody should wait. That's why. You can't though. You can't. If you didn't wait, it's just a nice memory. But if you can wait for it, then maybe you can keep it. So my radio is trashy. I have to correct it.
The keys for the lock but then I can't unlock myself and I'll have to go to the hospital. I'm just wondering if this is recommended by the Queen of Hearts. Just wanted to see what you said.
I don't understand where the lock is.
It's a charity lock. You know, October, it's called October. It's highly covered in the October community. You lock yourself in chest.
This is a October community.
I've never locked myself down for
It's a
October.
real downer for Halloween.
Yeah,
What about no nuts in November? You don't know no nuts in November?
Yeah, I have heard that. I don't know many men who have accomplished said goal.
Well, some have done it, but not by choice.
There's no shave November. No shave November.
They've had no options, so they just kind of go.
When is December due? You know?
All right. Well, I think.
I didn't know that April.
Glad you have a fake girlfriend in Oklahoma. I'm glad that you
I bet she's beautiful
yeah, lovely woman.
and plastic.
Because he thinks Scott loves people from Oklahoma, clearly. All right, BP writes in, says shoulder massage or foot
That's
massage.
scary. For me or someone else?
I know that April in chat.
I think a foot massage would be nice.
See, like foot.
But I actually have very ticklish feet too, so that could go
All right,
very
now
bad.
what is your better style vehicle for a good makeout session? Conversion van or convertible?
Oh gosh, conversion van.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I went to basic training in April. I wasn't there to bust. I went all the way through basic training without busting a nut, guys. It wasn't like, oh, I'm in the army. Oh, I'm in the army. No. Back. Well, go run the water in the bathtub, Ted. Oh, okay. No nut April. Nuts. Otherwise, November is probably the best time to try and conceive. Excuse me. I'm talking. Like I thought my camera was in front of me for a second. The plug. Plug it in, plug it in. Whoa, that's too far, Ted. But I'm gonna slouch in my seat. Watch me slouch. Now that's about right. I can do. That's, you know what? Nothing's perfect. Yeah. Have we heard of Draymond Green just resigned? I gotta do a Draymond Green research real quick. Four-year, $100 million contract. Green will earn $25 million this year, which isn't that good. I spend $25 a day. This Draymond, he only got $25 million, bro. The first two digits of our lifestyle shouldn't be the same. Here we go, $25 lifestyle versus $25 million lifestyle. Do you think Draymond Green wants to pay extra money to pay all his money to stay in San? How much is he gonna save? Over 50%? No, it's better to just pay the premium. Just pay the San Francisco price and stay. Even LeBron, he's not trying to go to some small shithole city and buy a new house. Flacco, he can live across they got apartments. He'll be in the banks right above the Reds Hall of Fame, wherever the housing is in between the stadiums. They kicked that guy off the team because they needed his room. They don't give a shit about his space on the roster. I got a room in Cincinnati. If I show up, they let me sleep. See, I'm just like Joe Flacco. I'm just like Joe Burrow. I live at the Burrow house. What is it? Joseph House. Let's spell it right. Josph. I'm really bad at spelling Hebrew names like Joseph. I like to call him Throw Burrow. Now who's the Bengals quarterback? It's Throw Flacco. Throw Flacco. No, nobody's ever heard that one before. Nobody slurs like I do. My slur is premium downloadable content. Wallpapers for Nokia. Engage. I watched the Dicks wrestle. They were like some Chippendale guys. They had like they looked like two Marcus Alexander Bagwells. WWF rips off everything from WWE, even the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik. Hogan fucked everybody. As much as Hogan thinks he was, he could have slammed the Giant at Starrcade, but he didn't. Yeah, they have Vince set it up. You know, he could have had the same match without Vince. Starrcade is older than WrestleMania. I didn't see Hogan slam the Giant at Starrcade. I said it was Harley Race versus Ric Flair, then Valentine and Piper in a dog collar match. That was the one that we were still watching. You know, like you'd be watching Starrcade from '83 to '84 to '85. You'd be sitting watching Starrcade in '86. And then WrestleMania happened. And you see the Hogan slam the Giant on WrestleMania 3, because Hogan couldn't do it at the first WrestleMania. He's fighting Mr. T. Okay? Is Mr. T a wrestler? No. We're going out with the bag. I got some thoughts out. I squeezed them out. Now I'm going to squeeze my sweatshirt and take off my shirt by squeezing the hood. Yeah, Hogan and the Iron Sheik could have had a Desert Storm match in '82. Before Starrcade won, before everybody decided was all, fuck you, I don't want to wrestle with you. The money, everybody thinks they're gonna be the next Abraham Lincoln. Ohio has the worst wrestlers, including Jimmy Wang Yang, who is living in Cincinnati. And John Cena. It's all these guys from Cincinnati that are getting snubbed and their careers are over. Cena's needs to stop producing wrestling so he can actually make a movie. He wants to be a movie star, but you have to have your last match in the movie. You can't be still wrestling and making a movie about you goddamn Andre slamming the Giant. I Like to Hurt People is great because none of those guys really went on much longer. I Like to Hurt People is the name of the movie. With maybe it has Malenko and the Sheik. If you make a wrestling movie, that's it, bro. Don't be. You should be done. Smashing Machine reviews are typical of The Rock's product. Now, I think that it'll probably age well, and it'll have a good run on network television. I'm gonna wrap up 2 more minutes left in the show. It's not no net November, it's October. Get your nut. Spread the net, you know what I'm saying? Paint my face because Charlie Kirk is dead. That's why I paint my face. Because he was a bitch and he never painted his face. And now I'll call everybody a bitch who never painted their face. Now I painted my face in the past. I'm just doing it for modern reference. Yeah. Keep the archives up to date with an example of. In Japan, they think wearing a bunch of tape is armor. Okay. I'm not going an hour. We're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Tap it up. Jesus for Jesus. And I'll make another episode. I'll be back.